Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the World of Wrestling Podcast. Here today to discuss about boxing news and rumors. Episode number 13. I'm on my current lunch break for work, so I'm going to go ahead and start giving you guys some boxing news from here on out. Every couple of days or so that really sticks out at me that I'm really interested in talking about, and kind of just going over some upcoming fights that might occur, or what's going on with championships with different fighters and so forth. So, some interesting news about Jaron Ennis Boots. He actually has a laundry list of guys that he would like to face in the future, which I think some of them are actually very good. One being Xander Zayas, who is currently working for Top Rank Boxing. Top Rank is currently looking for a platform to air their events. ESPN and Top Rank have discontinued business with each other. They didn't come to an agreement, so Top Rank is without a platform to show off their events. I think Top Rank will probably end up with DAZN. DAZN is ending up collecting all of these promotions and just pretty much going ahead and putting all these promotions under one roof is what they're basically doing, which I think is a fantastic idea, especially if you're a huge boxing fan. You don't have to be on multiple platforms. Me being a wrestling fan, as you guys know, based on the title of my channel, you got to be on all different kinds of platforms just to be able to watch the fucking content, which is absolutely annoying. But let's get into the commentary about Ennis Boots and what he wants to do with Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns pretty much stated that he has spoken to Top Rank about working with them for Xander's homecoming fight later this year in Puerto Rico. If Zayas wins that fight and Ennis 34-0 is victorious in his matchup next month against Loma, then Hearns wants to negotiate a Zayas versus Ennis fight, which I think would be a fantastic fight. I think those two would really gel well together. Hearns says he hoped to put together a fight between Boots and Virgil Ortiz for early 2026, but he's not received any contact from Virgil's promoters at Golden Boy Boxing, which I think would be a fucking great matchup. That would be pay-per-view headliner, personally, to me, in my own opinion. So he now doubts that they're interested in making that fight. A fighter that he says wants to fight Ennis is Zayas. Zayas is a good fighter. I've seen him fight before on Top Rank off of ESPN. Great fighter, entertaining work by him. And he's pretty damn decent in the ring. I think he could give Ennis a run for his money, but I'd still take Ennis because of the experience and the level of fighters that he has faced over his career, and has 34 wins and no losses. So I think that is definitely something to look out for, and I think that fight is going to be fucking entertaining as hell if it actually happens. The Lima problem. Again, it'll require that both Ennis and Zayas win their next fights. As Hearn points out, Boots has a tough fight ahead of him against Lima, who's 14-1 with 10 knockouts on October 11th, 2025 at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. This will be Ennis' debut at 154. Lima is ranked number 9 by the IBF, number 9 by WBA, and number 9 by WBC, all across the board, basically. Earn is also interested in these two fights for Ennis. He's also interested in Bakaram Matarzales for the IBF 154-pounder championship, and Terrence Crawford even. I don't know. I think Terrence Crawford may retire after the fight with Canelo Alvarez. I don't think he really... I think this would be his hoorah. I mean, this is the biggest payday he's ever going to see in his career. Not that he hasn't gotten paid well over his course of time in being in boxing, but Canelo Alvarez and him is like, to me, the modern day version of what Pacquiao was to Mayweather. And I kind of see this being the same thing. The only difference is the two fighters are in two different weight classes, putting Terrence Crawford under a big disadvantage because he moved up two weight classes just to have this fight. So, and he pretty much came across to me very desperate, wanting the big payday. And I also think it has a lot to do with competition-wise. I think he wanted to, upgrade his stock, his name, and so forth in the boxing world. But I just don't see him being able to overcome the obstacle of shifting weight classes, because that has a huge factor in how someone performs. He's also had a little bit of issues with Madrimov, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He fought him in August of 2024 or 2023, somewhere around that time frame. And he didn't do the best, I think. I think he did okay, but not at the level he handled Earl Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr., I thought was going to be a close fight. I thought it was going to go to a decision scorecard, possibly even a split decision. And that fight was not even close. I had Terrence Crawford winning, but not to the level of how he won the fight. I mean, it was brutal to watch him. Earl Spence has not been the same. He hasn't even had a fight since then. That was I think in 2023. So yeah, the Madrimov fight in August, it was last year. But I mean, it's crazy. He walked through Earl Spence Jr. like nobody's business. So my attitude is that Terrence Crawford facing Ennis Boots. I don't see any reason why Terrence Crawford would want to face anyone after Canelo. Whether he wins or loses, I think he should just want to retire at that point. He's 37 years old. He's fought a lot of good fighters. Ennis Boots would be a very entertaining fight, but I think if he was to beat Canelo Alvarez, I would say, why do I need a fight anymore? Even if he loses and he fights him in a very close fight and he doesn't get knocked out or anything like that, I would say just retire, man. You've done everything you needed to do in boxing at this point. But that's just my opinion. Xander Zayas, I believe, does want the fight. I think this is Ed Hearns stating this. We've had a conversation with Top Rank about maybe working together at giving him a homecoming in Puerto Rico and then make the Boots fight. We're up for that. Boots against Xander Zayas. What a fight, said promoter Eddie Hearns to Chris Mannix channel about his interest in putting together a fight between Jaron Ennis Boots and WBO junior middleweight champion Xander Zayas. A fight between these two would be an interesting one, as it would match two excellent boxers against each other, as I already mentioned, based on what the writer is saying from Boxing 24 News. It would also allow Zayas to show fans that he's not afraid to take risky fights and that he's not a carefully maneuvered artificial champion like many believe him to be. Eddie Hearns didn't say who he would use from his Matchroom stable as a opponent for Zayas 23 to make his first defense of his WBO 154 title against this December in Puerto Rico. Okay. And Matromedov's path to Ennis. Then you have this fight talking about fighting Josh Kelly in December. Will fight him as well. The winner of Boots against Lima is going to be the mandatory challenger for Terrence Crawford. Now we know it may be unlikely that he'll return to 154, but who knows? A fight between Ennis and IBF champion Bakram Matazalaz would be exciting for fans to watch. Jaron would have an opportunity to show people what he can do against the fighter who destroyed former WBO middleweight champion Tim Suzui. I can't pronounce the last name. Tazua by a third-round knockout on October 19, 2024. Yeah, I caught that fight. That was fucking messed up. I think he's a freaking bum personally. I don't think Tim Suzua is any good at all. I'm not very impressed with that guy's fighting ability, and I don't think he's the top level of boxing at this present time. But yeah. Anyway, the WBA title situation. If the WBA strips Crawford of his title due to abandonment, Ennis and WBA interim champion Abbas Baru can fight for the vacant belt, elevating Abbas to WBA world champion would also work, allowing Ennis to fight for the belt rather than being awarded the title. He claimed the IBF welterweight belt on November 9, 2024. Boots against Crawford is another fantastic fight, so the one thing you don't have to worry about Boots is that he will fight anybody. Get through Lima, which is going to be tough. This guy is coming to fight and get him done, and then we'll fight absolutely anybody, said Eddie Hearns. Win or lose on Saturday against Canelo Alvarez, it's unlikely that Crawford will return to 154 for a fight with the young Boots Ennis at any point unless Turkey Al-Quraysh, I can't pronounce this fucker's last name, offers him a massive payday. It's too difficult a fight for Crawford, and what would make it harder is if he chooses to sit out of the ring for another year after his clash with Canelo. Returning at 39 years old to fight Ennis would be a nightmare for Terrence Crawford. Absolutely agree with that comment. That's 100%. You don't, if you're going to come for this fight, you do it like right then and there. You don't wait. You give yourself like 6 months. You train for this fight. It's a big fight. So I honestly think this fight idea is very unlikely to actually happen. So I wouldn't even consider this a fight that could even take place. If it does, it would be very shocking. Loss to Boots would tarnish his legacy as well, especially if it's by knockout. I don't think he's going to get that. But yeah, that's pretty much the outlook and future possibility of opponents for Jaron Ennis Boots to have future opponents. I think he has a bright future. I think he has a list of good, talented fighters. I think the Xander Zayas fight will be fantastic to actually see occur, and I think it's very likely it can happen. Based on the situations and the circumstances and variables that are involved, that it's very likely this fight can be booked. But the Terrence Crawford fight, I don't have any interest, nor do I even think this is going to happen. I think if Canelo beats him, I think he needs to retire. Whether he wins or loses, I think Terrence Crawford should just retire and walk off in the sunset. If he loses, like, badly, like people are saying he might get knocked out, I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I think he's going to lose by decision. I think Crawford is going to lose the fight, and I think Canelo is going to win 7 out of the 12 rounds. And I think he's just going to win 7 rounds. Crawford's going to win only 5. And I think that's how this is all going to break down. So I think it's going to be a close fight between these two. But could a knockout occur? Probably. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. These two guys are well known for knocking people out. Crawford's well known for knocking people out. So, I mean, it's all based on what's going to happen. If he so happens to win this fight by knockout, well, Crawford will be ascended to one of the top fighters in boxing, in my personal opinion. So, I honestly think that if Crawford wins this, he really should just retire at the end of the day. I don't think he needs to do anything else. He has nothing more to prove. All he's doing is overstaying his welcome. And I think that the best option for him is just retire. And if he happens to lose in a close fight, I'd say retire too. But if he loses by a massive knockout, I don't know. I would say I would just continue to compete, try to earn some respect back into his name, build his stock back up. But that's pretty much all I would do at that point. But personally, I think Crawford is on the end of his career. I think Canelo is on the same deal. I think Canelo wins this fight, I would say he should retire. Canelo is like, I think 39 years old, or maybe the same age. Let me check this out real quick. Canelo Alvarez is... He's 35. All right, so he's 35. Yeah, he's getting up there. Terrence Crawford, I believe, is 37 right now. So he's like 2 years older than him. That's another thing to take into consideration. I mean, Terrence Crawford is 37 years old, while Canelo is fucking 2 years younger. I think Canelo, personally, if I was Canelo and I won this fight hands down with no problem, I'd say just retire. You've done pretty much everything in boxing you could possibly ask for. And then beating Terrence Crawford by dominance at the end of the day, I'd say Canelo should just hang up the boots and call it a day. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below between the article I just read to you guys for Jaron Ennis boots, or about the Canelo Terrence Crawford situation, and what you guys think, who should retire, whatnot, and so forth. And let me know in the comments down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. I will start implementing these small little videos every couple of days on boxing, as well as MMA news. I think tomorrow I'm going to cover MMA and give you guys an article I'm interested in and go over that with you guys as well. So anyway, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you on that. I thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.